Never know. You walk.
Okay. All right. It says we're live. I'm gonna believe the thingy. What's up, everyone? It's your boy. It's your boy, Zack the Dolge, aka the lead adventurer, aka the madman of AuthorTube.
That's right.
So, oh god, this channel, here on IYFA, we usually do more lighthearted reactions, and we don't get into politics too much, but I just saw something cross my feed that I frankly, I couldn't ignore it. When I saw it, I immediately had to click on it.
Yes.
And this is such a teachable moment for the culture. This is a video that I genuinely think, like, everyone in the West should see, because it's indicative of the actual lines of the cultural divide and the actual lines of who's on the right side and who is actually a piece of shit. So we're going to start going over this video from the Authentic Observer. If you don't know who she is, it's not really proper to call her a booktuber. She's really just a social and state of the world commentator. Her name is very apt, which is indicative of her entire persona and channel. Apt. She observes things and gives you her authentic opinions, and they're usually articulate, poignant, and spicy. So she recently got Vaush recently came after her because he's a piece of shit, and she's hitting back with some left hooks. So we're just gonna get into it.
We're gonna react.
Do. I want to. Where is it? StreamYard. There it is. I was like, I'm trying to share my screen. Why am I so bad at this? Get shit on. Okay. I'm not gonna start the video over. I'd already started watching it before I made the stream, but I got halfway. Well, not even halfway. 1/4 through, and I was like, we got to react to this. But I am gonna go back and hit some points here. Just so you guys can really get the idea.
Yeah. Kind of.
So I'm sorry if my points have seemed childish so far, but a good chunk of Vaush's arguments being...
Okay, can you hear it?
Yes.
being a generous word, involve picking apart my accent, my appearance, my outfit, and my persona. All the things 12-year-old girls go for when they're feeling particularly bitchy. So it's difficult.
All the things 12-year-old girls go for when they're feeling particularly bitchy.
Yeah.
Let me just say, folks, when you're in a battle of wits and you can accurately compare your opponent to a 12-year-old girl, you've won the argument.
Yes.
If you can adequately and accurately demonstrate that your opponent is acting like a 12-year-old girl, you've won. And Vaush absolutely is acting like a 12-year-old girl. As you'll see, she plays clips of him saying horrible things throughout this video.
Really serious, and I'm not given anything serious to work with. And then, because apparently he really wanted to prove my point about male feminists, he said this.
She's a pick-me. No wonder she's dressed like this. She's wearing a fucking skirt with stockings. She just wants to live in Mad Men and be sexually harassed by, like, the fucking... the office boys.
I'm sorry?
Wow.
She's asking for it, guys.
Oh my...
Look at how she's dressed. She's asking for it. And this guy hasn't been canceled yet. And Vaush calls himself a male feminist. Vaush, sincerely, if you see this heart to heart, you're a fucking piece of shit. You are the rapiest douche tuber I've ever fucking seen. And if I ever have the pleasure of seeing you in real life, I'm going to punch you in the face. Like you advocate your side of the argument does to me because I voted for Trump. Go fuck yourself.
Beg your pardon, sir. What was that? What do I want?
She just wants to live in Mad Men and be sexually harassed.
Yes, Vaush. You caught me. I just want to be sexually harassed. It's obvious from how I'm dressed. That's all I want. I'm a bit of a slut for unwanted advances.
No wonder she's dressed like this.
I can't believe I have the nerve. It's obscene. I'm practically flaunting myself with these nylons and this skirt.
She's wearing a fucking skirt with stockings.
Honestly, how...
She's asking for it, guys. Look at her skirt. She wants to be sexually harassed.
dare I? Going around dressed like the whore I am? I'm just inviting trouble.
I don't know
I'm
why I keep
asking
pausing.
for it.
She's
I
making the point.
obviously want
She's
it. I'm
doing a
begging
perfect
for
job
it.
of making the
Like,
point.
you know,
I
like
should
just
just shut the fuck up.
The short skirt plus like the stockings and so on.
It's like,
It's like
that,
I find
And the so. What was that, Kate?
what's his chat mount on this?
No, of course not. His chat is a bunch of soy boy, 12-year-old feminist, male feminist, socialist types. Like, I guarantee everyone in his chat is either a 12-year-old little boy indoctrinated into Marxism or a neckbeard living in their basement because they can't get a real job. Or a pedophile. You get the idea of what I'm saying about Vaush's target audience here.
It's like, I mean, the lack of awareness.
Right. Literally. How long, guys, ladies and gentlemen, how long did feminists fight for the she wasn't asking for it because of how she's dressed? How long were feminists on... And that's true. I agree with that, by the way. That's true. How a woman is dressed is no excuse. No matter how she's dressed, it's not an excuse to treat her poorly or be in any way aggressive or untoward towards her.
Yeah.
Period. Vaush calls himself a feminist. And he's saying that because Authentic Observer her is wearing a skirt, which is not even a mini skirt, she's wearing a skirt that's just above the knee, she deserves to be sexually harassed. But then Vaush turns around and says conservatives are the people who hate women.
Right. No.
You can't make this shit up. It's the stinkiest, most disgustingest flavor of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Going through puberty so horrific and disgusting and shameful that for years after...
Now, I'm actually not going to play this part because she goes into some very personal details about her life, and I don't feel the need to further broadcast those personal details. If I was her, I personally wouldn't have shared stuff like that in this video. So if you want to go and watch the video, it's Authentic Observer right here on her channel, Male Feminists Hate Women. You can go watch it. I'm going to skip past this part to the next thing I wanted to highlight because I think that I wouldn't have shared this stuff, and I'm not going to help her share stuff I don't think she should have shared. Because you can make your point without sharing those details.
Yeah.
You
I
can feel this really not...
Agree.
What?
I said I can understand. Angry.
Oh yeah. She 100%. She 100%. She had a visceral gut reaction to what he was saying, and so she felt compelled to slap him down in the most visceral, emotional language she could. And I understand it. I just, I'm not interested in highlighting that form of warfare.
Yeah.
nasty, angry undercurrent, and it's never surprising.
Which I have no business saying, considering the little mini rant I just had, saying I want to punch Vaush in the face. Look, we're all hypocrites, okay?
When they reveal themselves.
Shut up, bitch.
You want to have a conversation about toxic masculinity? I see it again and again in male feminists.
This is the other point I want to highlight here. Let's hear that again.
You can feel this really nasty, angry undercurrent, and it's never surprising when they reveal themselves.
Shut up, bitch.
You want to have a conversation about toxic masculinity? I see it again and again in male feminists. For whatever my opinion is worth, in the simplest terms, from a female perspective, I would say that positive masculinity makes you feel safe, and toxic masculinity makes you feel threatened. I'm wearing my old school skirt there, by the way, in that video. It looks a little shorter than it is because of the angle of this armchair. It kind of goes back a bit. But you see schoolgirls all over the country wearing skirts like that with those exact kind of tights, these exact kind of tights. And teen girls are notorious for rolling up their school skirts to be shorter, to make them fashionable and trendy. So I'm just wondering if 13-year-old girls also want to be sexually harassed when they're in their school uniforms, Vaush? Genuine question. The ridiculous thing is, I'm not even dressed that revealingly. Unless you're an insanely conservative fundamentalist Christian. I don't think you...
I've gone to many churches throughout my life, folks. I've never met a Christian that would say she was dressed in any way inappropriate.
Yeah. Unless you'd gone to a church. But that's
Caitlin, can you put your mic directly in front of you, please?
Yeah. Sorry. So I was just saying, unless you'd gone to church. or one of those, or some Baptist, because I have experience and again, all of the men are very much like.
Anyways,
It's really not that inappropriate. I'm wearing the same thing millions of women who work in an office would wear. You could wear what I'm wearing in a professional scenario and it wouldn't be seen as wildly inappropriate. All you professional ladies better make sure your skirts are down to your ankles, otherwise you want to be sexually harassed in the workplace. That's what Vaush says, because apparently Vaush is a caricature of a 1970s misogynist.
She just wants to live in Mad Men and be sexually harassed by, like, the fucking The Office boys.
I had no idea you had such Puritan sensibilities, Vaush. How very conservative of you.
So typical of your kind to twist the truth, to cloud the mind with unholy thoughts.
Vaush confirmed fundamentalist Christian.
Well, she was a whore anyway.
New member of the Westboro Baptist Church. What I'm wearing will send me to hell like the whore I am.
You really kind of have to think about what a whore is.
Now that would be a plot twist. Vaush joins the Westboro Baptist Church. I'd love it if things went that way. Hilarious end to the story.
If you wear a dress that's strapless with a brassiere that isn't, you might get slut.
Go on, Vaush, join them for a laugh. See if they let you in. Double dare you. I'll do it if you do. Who would they hate more, you or me? Now that's an interesting question. You're a far left nutter, but I wear short skirts and I'm into crystals. Who's more damned? Okay, tangent. Sorry, Vaushy, I'm forgetting my manners. Let's get back to the video. Where were we? Oh yes, inappropriate attire. Hang on while I've got you here. I've got a bit of a list. Yeah? I'm ready.
I love this next part, guys.
Yes.
I love this next part. She's about to get really sassy. Check this out.
I'm ready to learn, Vaush. I'm ready to be educated. You teach me how I can be a strong, truly strong, empowered woman. How do I throw off the shackles of the patriarchy, Vaush? You know, because you're so good at that. We'll go through this. You tell me how I'd be a good little feminist. So my list, shorts. What do we think about shorts? What do you think about shorts? What's the verdict on shorts? They do show off a lot of leg shorts. Am I asking to be sexually harassed?
Well, it depends on what kind of shorts, too, because, you know, the cargo shorts typically go below the knee, but then, of course, you have, like, beach shorts, which are, like, you know, like, only maybe a few inches down the thigh. So, of course, we have to just... Vaush, I would also like to know, like, what kind of shorts do you find it acceptable for women to wear, Vaush? I too... But I would like a more specific answer so that I, you know, Vaush, know what to tell my daughters they are and aren't allowed to wear. Because, of course, Vaush, you're the arbiter of all that is and isn't acceptable in female behavior. So I need a detailed list of what clothes are and aren't acceptable, according to God, Emperor of Common Decency and Public Attire, Vaush.
Yeah. Because he's just
You really...
What?
I said because he's as he dresser.
You kind of have to think about what a whore is.
And low-cut tops? What about low-cut tops? Am I a slut who deserves it if I'm wearing a low-cut top? What about this one? You can see a bit of clavicle in this one. Now that's very sexual, the clavicle. No man can control himself when he sees a bit of clavicle.
I love how she's even using the clinical term.
Yeah.
She's not even calling it the collar, which is inarguably a much softer and more appeasing word than the clavicle. She's not even calling it that. She's calling it the clavicle. Also, on a side note, that was an unfortunate freeze frame.
Ooh, very spicy.
She's wearing a fucking skirt with stockings.
And the yoga leggings, that's the next thing. What do we think of the yoga? No, they're very tight, the yoga leggings. Should I maybe stay away from the yoga leggings if I don't want to be assaulted? Would that be your professional advice? What about swimsuit? I see several problems here with the swimsuit. Yeah, I know, I see what you mean. If that's too provocative, next time I go swimming, I could just go full wetsuit. In fact, actually, if you could just send over a list, that'd be great, love. Just send me a list, yeah, of all the Vaush-approved female garments that are appropriate to wear. That would be really helpful. Or, sorry, a sheet. Okay. If that would make you feel less filled with the radical rage line, I could just wear a sheet and be done with it.
Stupid fucking bitch.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vaush, but I mean, really, you deserve me messing around like that. You deserve to be wound up for that. Don't be so bloody ridiculous.
No wonder she's dressed like this. She's wearing a fucking skirt with stockings. She just wants to live in Mad Men and be sexually harassed by, like, the fucking The Office boys.
Behold, a feminist, noble defender of women's rights to dignity and safety.
You can see the fan on his face.
Oh yeah. Thank you. I was gonna make that point. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, that's another thing too. You can literally see that in his, like, okay, look, I don't I try not to make a habit of
that scenario.
What, Kate?
Picturing that scenario.
In what scenario?
Where
he's sexually harassing
her.
Yeah. Oh no, that's where I was going. Like, I don't often claim to know what's in men's hearts because I'm not a mind reader. I'm not God. I can't see into their souls. Vaush wants to rape her.
Yeah.
I can, like, as a man with a lot of testosterone, I can see it in his eyes. Like, he is thinking about doing aggressive things to her. Yeah. He's fantasizing about it as he's saying the words. You notice that thing where he said and so on. That's because he lost his train of verbal thought because he was focusing too hard on what he wants to do to her. I can fucking see it in his eyes, folks. It takes one to know one. As a guy who's had to restrain his urges and come this close to doing some fucking shit, let me tell you.
Well,
I see it in him.
As a person in the end of that situation,
you can see it too.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it takes one to know one. I have been in situations where I felt highly tempted and where I took every ounce of self-control I had to not be a piece of shit, and I can see it in his eyes. He's thinking about it. And she's not even in front of him, people.
No.
And autonomy over their own bodies. Well, as long as you agree with him. If there was ever a case for tyrannical toxic masculinity, submit to Vaush's worldview, or the rules of feminism need not apply. You're probably just a slut who wants to be sexually harassed anyway. Right, Vaush. Come on, you're gonna have to explain this to me. Isn't saying that like a cardinal sin on the left? Isn't that like the worst thing you can do? I don't know, you tell me. This is your crowd. What was she wearing and all that? Isn't that what the slut walks are all about? Isn't that whole thing?
Yep.
Short skirt's not an invitation. What happened to that? Why don't I get that kind of treatment, Vaush? That's not fair. Or am I'm fair game now because I have not even right wing, I'm just fucking centrist-ish politics. So normal rules need not apply. Okay.
I don't agree with your insane dogma. So now I'm a target. That's right, authentic observer. Welcome to the party. If you're not left of Bernie Sanders, you are the enemy. Welcome to the resistance.
I really must thank you for demonstrating my point, Vaush. Male feminists only care about the ideology and not about actual women, and they will actively attack women if they're a threat to that ideology, getting a kick out of being as misogynistic as they like to those women they've deemed heretics. It's about power, not progress. And if you're a far-left woman, screw you. Get sexually harassed and cry about it, I guess. You probably wanted it anyway. You're not progressive, Vaush. You're not. You can't call yourself that. It's ridiculous. Come on, be honest. Just be honest. It's just about power. It's obviously just about power. I don't know. That's just...
It's not even just about power, ladies and gentlemen. What it's about is male feminists call themselves male feminists because they think it's going to score them points with female feminists, and they think it grants them an I am owed pussy card.
Yeah.
That's how these guys think. I'll call myself a male feminist, and then all the female feminists have to sleep with me. That's how these pieces of shit think.
Yeah.
I know because I'm a guy, and I've spoken to them.
Yeah. There was a theory that old guys home had that this was a this was basically why guys get women get out in the work with higher powered
Caitlin, is your gain all the way up?
Yes.
Okay, because you just keep cutting out a bunch.
Oh. Hold on. Okay. Is that better?
I mean, you only said those words. Just
Okay.
continue your story. And I'll tell you.
Anyway, they had decided to receive why you do get women out the network to pay all of their bills.
Oh, the homosexual thing. I mean, yeah, I'm sure for some men that's it. I'm for sure some of them that's it.
I'm saying that's what it looks like. Anyway, I hope this explained to everyone why I find a lot of male feminists creepy. I'm sorry, Vaush, that was rude of me. But if you don't want to be called creepy, maybe don't say that I want to be sexually harassed. I feel like that's fair. Is that fair? That's fair.
Like, you know, like just the short skirt plus like the...
Okay, okay. I'm going to tell you people how to read his face. Here's the clip. One sec. Okay. Look at the focus in his eyes. Look at the focus. Eyes are the window of the soul. Now, look at how his face is set. It's not elevated. It's not depressed. It's neutral. Because his brain has lost any interest in expression. He's focused on one thing. And that's what he's thinking about. And he's staring intently at the screen, at her. He's thinking about doing stuff to her. It's obvious. And again, he's lost track of any verbal train of thought. Further proof. Well, I'm not going to say proof. I don't have proof. I have strong evidence based on a psychological analysis of what we're seeing here.
Stockings and so on.
Speaking of Vaush not really caring about what happens to women who disagree with him, let's talk about Sydney Watson. I mentioned her in my first video as the woman Vaush listened to tearfully talk about her assault, and then he immediately responded with, bullshit, that didn't happen. A reaction which seems a little opposed to his politics. I should clarify, I'll be fair to Vaush, I don't want to give the impression that...
Everybody.
Right. I thought it was believe all women, Vaush. What happened to that?
It's like,
Not when they disagree with you. Got it.
They were like in person talking. He was reacting to a video of her. So it was my opinion, this reaction of his was due to Sydney having right-wing political beliefs. This was my opinion. An opinion that has only been strengthened after what he just said about me. It seems women only matter if they agree with his worldview, but Vaush took issue with this. He had a problem with how I viewed this. And I'm glad he brought it up, because there were some things I wanted to say. So, firstly, I'd already seen the video of him. He clarified that that's not what he said, and he explained himself. And I'd already seen the video before I did my first video. I had looked up on this. I'd already seen the video of him trying to explain himself after he'd said that about Sydney. So he did a follow-up video where he's like, no, this is why. So I already knew what his supposed defence was. And right off the bat, I would just like to say that, in my opinion, it just seemed like the most transparent attempt at backtracking and scrambling for a reasonable excuse I've ever seen. Secondly, Vaush, I'm going to tell you now, you're actually factually incorrect. I'll tell you why. So, also, I just want to add, in his video, Vaush actually thought that I was arguing that we should always believe all women, regardless of evidence and circumstance, which is not my position, but again, he didn't actually listen to what I'd said before formulating an opinion and going off on a tangent about it. But anyway, that's kind of beside the point. Oh, and in the video you did on me, Vaush, you continued to mock Sydney by imitating her crying about it. That was really quite disgusting.
No, yeah, like basically, it's you know that like trope in stories where a person is like telling a really sad story and then like they're getting near the end and they're like then they're starting to talk about how they have like an investment opportunity for you. You know what I mean? Like, and I can't afford to have my little cat Whiskers go to the vet. Thankfully, I have a little timeshare off in, you know, Aruba that I'm looking to get off my hands, and I was wondering, like, you know, like instantly your alarm bells ring. Yeah.
Come on, mate, you're better than that. So, Sydney claimed the...
Wow.
No, he's not. Authentic observer. No, he's not. He's a piece of shit.
Police refused to investigate her assault because the guy was from a certain religion. I think those are her words, or something like that. To which you, Vaush, said that she was obviously lying, and this couldn't possibly be true because, according to you...
Now, it's a little weird when everyone's talking about their rape experiences, and then one person says, oh, well, my person, he wasn't white, and, well, because of his religion, the police said that the cultural differences mean they wouldn't prosecute him. I don't think this is something that most of the viewers of this channel need reminding of, but I really don't think there's a habit of police officers failing to investigate the sexual assault or rape of...
In England, they covered up an entire gang of Muslim immigrants raping little girls. All the cops knew about it. It went on for years. It's been verified and fact-checked and up and down analyzed. This is a thing that happens, Vaush. You disgusting piece of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Vaush. You're gonna burn in hell. And I wish I could be there to see it.
White women by non-white people. Now, it is not statistically impossible that everything she said did happen. That the police actually said, we won't investigate because of cultural differences. I can't fathom a police officer making that claim. Can you imagine that? Like, Hey, I'm a white woman. I was
do that in UK all the time. Like you just said.
I can't remember the country. It was one of the northern Slavic countries. Might have been Norway. Story didn't get publicized as much as it deserved. Muslim immigrant went to a public pool, dragged a little boy into the shower, raped him. When the police asked him why he did it, he said, "I haven't been laid in months. I was horny." Look it up. That was his response. These people do rape people because in their culture it's okay.
Yeah.
It mostly happens in countries where Islam is the dominant religion. And India as well happens quite a bit there. So, yeah, cultural differences do make rape more common in certain parts of the world, Vaush. To deny that is to deny the lived trauma of millions of women. But what do I expect from a piece of garbage like you, Vaush? Just a literal piece of shit. In fact, that's an insult to shit, because at least shit can be used to fertilize, Vaush. At least if I take several truckloads of shit and I sprinkle it over my field and I till it into the soil, I can expect my crops to grow really good, Vaush. If I cut you up, I'm not saying hypothetically, because I would never do that, and I sprinkled you over a field, it would be poisoned. Because you're pure fucking evil, Vaush. Go ahead, Kate.
Well, I was gonna do. That's the difference between shit and human shit. If you were to fertilize human shit, normally you would cause the vegetables things like parasite.
Well, again, it depends on concentrations and other stuff in the soil, Caitlin.
Yeah.
They make Tegro out of human shit, and that stuff's great. I'm serious. There's a Tegro plant near where it's called Tegro. They get it from the sewage treatment plants. They get the raw stuff from the sewage treatment plants, and then they mix it with sawdust, and you can go get it for free. You literally pull your truck up to the pile, get it for free. We tilled it into my backyard for over a decade. Makes stuff grow. Corn, double my current height, Caitlin. 12-foot corn in the city in my backyard.
Wow.
I was sexually assaulted by a brown person. Oh, well, okay, we won't investigate it, though, because they're Muslim. We won't do that, though.
Vaush, it's amazing how wrong you are. A quick Google search would show you how wrong you are. So I don't know if you're dishonest, or if you've just never heard of the grooming gang scandals, but I'll treat this like you've never heard of them.
Birmingham. I think it was the Birmingham grooming gang.
Yep.
Okay, because everything you just said has, yes, literally happened, provably, on a massive scale in Britain. I have no idea what things are like in America. Sydney Watson's Australian for a start. I don't know where in the world she was when this happened. I don't know. But what I can tell you is that what you just said, that the police would never not investigate a white woman's assault if the perpetrator was a Muslim, is mind-blowingly incorrect. And all you Americans, hold on to your horses. Hang on, bear with me, okay? Calm down and listen to me for a minute.
I agree with you. Proceed with your point, because I know it's right.
What I'm going to say is not a conspiracy theory or something only right-wingers believe. I need you to understand that this is common knowledge, a widely accepted fact in Britain, and this has been widely known about for about a decade now. I was at school when this scandal broke, and I remember it dominating the news for a very long time. This is a fact, not a wacky fringe theory, and a fact that the police admit to. So in Rotherham, in Yorkshire, which is a town, a conservative estimate is that over 1,500 girls were abused between 1997 and 2013. This happened in my county, in Yorkshire, just an hour...
I didn't know it was that many, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vaush. Burn in hell. I mean it. From the heart.
And a half down the road from where I am now. The police knew about this the whole time it was going on. but they never did anything to stop it. Do you know why they never did anything to stop it? The police never properly investigated or did anything because most of the perpetrators were from, in Sydney's words, a certain religion, and the police didn't want to exacerbate racial tensions. The police themselves, and politicians, now admit this. So yes, Vaush, the police would actually just come out and say that they won't investigate because of cultural differences. Some of those girls were as young as 11 years old, beaten and raped by multiple men. Sometimes they doused them in petrol and threatened to set them on fire. I know you don't care what happens to rich women, but even you should care about this, Vaush, because these were not middle-class girls. These were the most vulnerable girls in society. Many of these girls were in and out of care homes. Girls from abusive homes. Girls from the most deprived backgrounds who had nobody to protect them, or defend them, or care about them. Girls who jumped at the first opportunity of what they thought was genuine affection. Girls in the perfect position to be manipulated, taken advantage of, and then raped. Passed around multiple men. You want to talk about grooming? The police failed those girls in every possible way. To say they neglected their duty of care is an understatement so vast it is insulting. South Yorkshire police are an absolute disgrace and have no right to ever again claim they protect or defend anyone. At the time, the police said that these girls were prostitutes making lifestyle choices. As we all know, this...
And let me just say, really quick, folks, Britain is a very left-leaning country. And everyone on the left who thinks that the police, because there's people out there, Google it, look for the tweets, they're there. People on the left are the only ones who defend what those police did. And people on the left are always the ones saying, well, we can't judge other cultures and we have to be inclusive and multiculturalism. Fuck multiculturalism. It's never going to work because some cultures are better than others. Fuck you, Vaush. And fuck everyone who even remotely behaves or thinks like you.
No such thing as an 11-year-old prostitute, but there are 11-year-old rape victims. You'd think the police would know that. Apparently not.
Yeah, she literally said the cops said they wouldn't investigate because of cultural differences. Like, oh yeah, dude, that's something cops love to do. Cops love to not investigate Muslims sexually assaulting white women because of the cultural differences of... Yeah, no, I don't... Yeah.
1,500 girls. 1,500. In one town. City.
Well, Vaush, I mean, you should also care about this interesting history from your culture. Gay men were being murdered, and the police didn't stop that. The late into the 80s because cultural differences.
Right. But see, of course, Vaush would jump at the opportunity to talk about how that was that was a this and that was a that, and everyone's conspiring against them because they're the gays. And, he would just come up with insane, half-assed, completely inconsistent, logical fallacy of an argument after another. He would never take any kind of accountability for the inconsistencies in what he believes, because that would mean he had to actually look inward and challenge his worldview and accept the fact that maybe he's a fucking moron, a disgusting excuse for a human being, and has never been right about any of the things he's believed. And he won't do it, folks. None of them will.
No.
That's why we don't compromise with these people. We don't give them an inch. In fact, when they ask for an inch, we kick them in the chest and take a foot. Because these people are fucking disgusting. I hate to go on an Alex Jones type rant here, but fuck it, here we are. Vaush and Pico like him fucking disgust me. You think things that are logically incoherent. You fucking apologize for the worst evils imaginable in the name of tolerance, and then you turn around and spit in your neighbor's face because he has the audacity to say, yeah, I kind of think I have a right to own a personal protection firearm, and I'm not okay with medically transitioning kids. And you divide your own communities over those lines while apologizing for the mass rape of women and young girls. Vaush and everyone like him, you are going straight to hell. Okay? You don't believe in the afterlife? Fine, motherfucker. You're the worst, disgusting piece of shit that exists in the human race. And I only want bad things to happen to you. Caitlin?
Well, you said you may not afterlife. I added believe in you.
Well, yeah, I'm just making the point, Caitlin. A lot of them couldn't give a shit about, supernatural nature threats of divine judgment. Okay, fine. Let me speak to you in language you'll understand. You only get one go around on this planet, and you're choosing to be a complete piece of shit with it.
Right.
Ow. Just down the road. Just down the road. The Rotherham is not the only example of this, by the way. So, I have no idea if what Sydney said happened to her happened. I don't know her, and I don't know much about her, though she seems genuine, and I'm inclined to believe her. But your ignorant statement that she had to be lying about the police not investigating due to the religion of the perpetrator, because apparently the police would literally never refuse to investigate the assault of a white woman if the perpetrator was Muslim, is flat out wrong. Provably wrong. Amazingly, arrogantly, ridiculously wrong. Maybe that's true in America. But it's happened before in Europe. It's well documented. It's an accepted fact.
It's not true
and one
here.
admitted to by those involved.
And this upper middle class, like, British affect right here, this thing that she's doing, I think I speak for most of you.
Her personality, her personhood, the way she is a thing. You heard it here, folks. Vaush sees women as objects. But we could already infer that strongly based on the other things we've seen him say during this broadcast.
At least a lot of you, when I say that this aesthetic, this behavior, this attitude is contemptible. This posh bullshit is insufferable. Like, it's actually not even like in a political sense. It's just everything about it exudes arrogance and condescension and narcissism.
Oh my god!
In a way that I think most people.
This posh, arrogant that's all you do, Vaush.
Oh my god!
You are the most arrogant, narcissistic commentator in the sphere of social and political matters that I've ever fucking heard of, Vaush. You exude arrogance and narcissism. You are the absolute epitome of what it is to be self-assured and believe that you're right because you're you. You are the thing you claim to hate, and anyone with any number of brain cells above 1 can see that, Vaush. Fuck you. Kate?
The projection here is thick. He's narcissistic.
He's a narcissexual, Yeah, just one more fake made up thing to add to the pile.
Yeah.
I'm narcissender. You're an idiot.
Everyone are.
Oh God.
Find very, very off-putting. Yeah, existentially revolting. Right.
Remember when I told you guys that sometimes the accent made people mad? Yeah. So this is what I was talking about. Rare that it meets this level of vitriolic hatred, but Vaush has a lot of feelings, and we must create a space for him to safely express those feelings. So, I'm elitist and...
No, he deserves to be kicked in the balls for his feelings.
Yes.
He does not deserve a safe space. He needs to have the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
That, figuratively speaking,
Well, he deserves to have balls to vote.
Figuratively speaking.
Yes.
Hypothetically, if we were in a world with, justice.
Condescending. Alright. I would, however, invite the audience to imagine the levels of arrogance required to watch only a few random snippets of someone's video and then actually thinking you understood their arguments and could speak about it for 50 minutes.
It does sound like the kind of video, like channel name that you would have for a person with a very high opinion of themselves.
While we're on the topic of those who have high opinions of themselves, what...
So Vaush, are women not allowed to have high opinions of themselves? Is someone who's well-educated, morally honest, physically attractive, talented. Is someone of that, because unless of course you're saying that those people don't exist, unless of course you're saying that everyone is as big a piece of shit as you are. But as on my side of the argument, I reject that notion outright. She's an incredible person by every measure I have access to, and you are a piece of shit. You don't like that she has a high opinion of herself because inside you hate yourself because you're a narcissist.
Yeah.
Might we call someone who made a video debunking someone else and spent most of the time not engaging with or even watching any actual arguments, but instead masturbating their own ego, lazily playing a few random clips and then using them to go off on massive tangents in a blatant...
What, Kate?
I said we're literally
Yes. Yes. I want to see what both your hands are doing at all times, Vaush. Especially when you're reacting to her.
Yeah. And clumsy attempt to flaunt their own intellect rather than say anything of value. I can think of a few words. Vaush got very personal about my general demeanour and how off-putting he found it, so I suppose it's only fair I return the favour. He's got this really self-important way of speaking. Like, he clearly thinks the things he's saying are intelligent, but everything he says is so ill-informed, like, it honestly made me laugh out loud several times. It was like watching someone fight thin air.
I wish I could laugh, Observer. I'm just so viscerally angry that it makes it very difficult. Unless, of course, I'm approaching the point where my anger comes full circle. Well, excuse me, 180. Well, not full circle because, yeah, I get so angry I laugh, and then I laugh, and then I get angry again.
Debunking things I'd never said, arguing against this phantom of what he imagined I believed.
I don't feel a need to watch the beginning because I have no respect for this woman.
Oh, darling, I don't think we're in any danger of any woman expecting respect when it comes to you. I think that ship sailed a long time ago. But how about watching it not because you respect me? How about watching the whole video so you don't make it...
I thought all women were deserving of respect no matter what they did. I thought that even if a woman was like, dropped out of middle school so that she could go bang hobos in the rail yard. Oh, well, that would be a kid, so, like, I'm going to up that age a little bit. I thought that I was supposed to respect high school dropouts who were, like, 30 with, like, 8 kids, and none of them had the same dad, and they did coke all the time because their boyfriend was a dealer. I thought I was still supposed to respect women like that. Just because they're women. So Vaush, why isn't she deserving of respect?
Well, see, the thing here, and whatever you want to call that. The only kind of exercise kind of gained respect for the ones that did not like they were actually together.
Sorry, Kate, you talk like to your mic or something, because you're cutting out like all the time.
Okay. Okay. So to start over, I was saying, as it was in a certain friendship, whatever, all that. The only women that has any kind of respect for the ones that feel like they were put together.
Right. Well, and you can't even call that respect, though, Caitlin. That's infatuation.
Yeah.
These male feminist types, they have this thing where it's different between them. There's like archetypes, but there's many different specific designs of this woman that's in their head, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And almost all the time, that woman is a victim and needs him to come save them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the male feminist type. The neckbeard, milady, white knight mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Male feminists have that almost to a man. And it just manifests differently because of the ideology they subscribe to.
Mm-hmm.
But they have that complex.
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course Vaush doesn't respect Authentic Observer. She doesn't need him.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want him. And therefore, she's not deserving of respect.
Which is so accurate.
What was that?
As it was so accurate.
Yeah, it is.
Tit of yourself. Is that a good enough reason? I don't respect you, but I still thought it best to listen.
But those men are all very, very sick. So, what do you expect?
Everything you have to say before giving my opinion on it. It was embarrassing to watch. All he did was skip around my video, watching the odd little section here and there, and then coming up with whole arguments against something I didn't believe. And then for some reason he acted all confused and put on this condescending, self-important air of, this woman is not making any sense. This is so dumb. I unironically don't even understand what she's trying to say. Acting like his lack of understanding was my failure to make a good point. I wouldn't understand someone's argument either, Vaushy, if I watched a few out-of-context sentences from almost an hour-long video. Why on earth would you expect to? Well, you didn't expect to. You did it intentionally, didn't you? Knowing that you wouldn't have to understand or engage because you're a dishonest person.
And he's, and more importantly even than the fact that he's dishonest, observer, he's incapable of making an argument against you. He's dumb as hell. All of them are.
Yeah.
They've convinced themselves that going to college to be indoctrinated with more garbage, they think that means they're intelligent. Observer?
Yeah.
Like, these people believe that the fact that they can memorize 1 million made-up fucking genders, they think that's the shit that makes them intelligent. They've been indoctrinated into thinking they're smarter than you. But they know in their heart they're not. And it causes this conflict in their personality, in their psyche. They've internalized a lie. They've brainwashed themselves. They only know it's a lie in the very, very deepest parts of their soul because they've managed to convince themselves of it so thoroughly. And that creates rot, observer. I'm not joking. I'm not being poetic, or I'm being very literal. It creates rot in their soul. And this is why they're narcissists, they're rape apologists, they're pedophiles, they're groomers. Because there's something very, very wrong, very, very deep. And that's that they've internalized a lie down to their core.
I think I pricked your substantial ego when I insulted you in my last video, and I think that this response of yours was a spiteful attempt to embarrass me, because how very dare I have a go at you? I also think the fact it was a woman doing it actually really got under your skin.
Shut up, bitch.
I'm not a fan of his, if you couldn't tell. So someone else will have to tell me if this sort of response is a normal thing for him. Surely he's not always this ill-informed and lazy.
He is. He never does any research. He refused to go on Tim Pool's show because Tim Pool wouldn't have him virtually. Tim Pool said, no, come to the studio. We'll sit down and have a chat. And Vaush wouldn't do it because he's too much of a fucking coward. And don't let Vaush lie and say it's because he doesn't need to go there. Tim should be honored to have me. I don't need to be there. It's because he's a coward. And he knows that Tim and any other...
Hold up a minute, guys.
There, dog. Come on, go.
Yes. We're suffering technical difficulty.
He knows that Tim or Ian... Fuck. I think Ian is the dumbest person at that table right now, and Ian would mop the floor with Vaush in any kind of debate or intellectual discussion. Ian, no offense to you, I'm not saying you are dumb, I'm saying you're the dumbest person at the table. No personal offense to you, you're still smarter than most. You're still, like, in the top 80 percentile, trust me, so no disrespect. But yeah. Yeah, Vaush is a fucking coward. And he's a fucking idiot. And he knows he's an idiot. But he's internalized the lie that he's smart. So it causes all kinds of malformations in his personality. Like being a narcissist. Like thinking that he's right in spite of the fact that he knows he's not. And of course he knows he's not because... And here's how I know he knows. Because he's heard the other argument. He's debated many people who were on the right side of whatever argument they were in, whether it was over Twitter, over video, whatever. He's heard the right side. And it was so well argued in multiple instances that I know he knows he lost the argument and is therefore at least somewhat wrong. And he's never reflected on that even once. He refuses to because he's self-assured. Do you know what it means? Self-assured gets thrown around. Do you know what it actually means? It means I'm right because I'm right. That's what it is translated, folks. It's that personality trait. We all know those people. You know what we call them? Narcissists. Am I hammering home this point? Do I keep arguing it from different angles? Yes, because I want people to understand that Vaush is a huge piece of shit. And that, like, pretty much the entire modern left is some flavor of Vaush. Okay? Okay.
Not with the large following he has. How would anyone take anything he says seriously if this is like a regular occurrence for him? I don't know. Why do people watch him? You'd be bleeding brain cells all over the place. Surely he's more impressive than this most of the time. Is what I'm trying to say in this video. Surely there's gonna be some reason for his huge success. He can't be.
It's because he's unfortunately got an uncle who's very good at marketing.
Yeah.
And so Vaush has been able to market himself to the very niche audience of radicalized leftist morons that are also willing to tolerate the other shitty things about him. like you just saw with, being a huge misogynist. Yeah, he's speaking to a very core audience. And his core audience is people like him.
Like this all the time and have gotten there? Surely not. Yeah, so I don't actually need to come up with any counter arguments to Vaush's points, because okay, they're relevant to everything. How about I just play some clips of what he thought I believed, and those of you who actually watch my video can tell me if this is my position.
What is the difference between her perspective here and like an 1800s misogynist father who believes women should be pure and dainty and untarnished, but like the purity of women is ruined by battle? That's a long-held position to this day and has been for millennia. The idea that women represent some kind of like maternal purity that gets sullied by things like enterprise, commerce, and warfare. That's like a pretty common misogynistic belief that like women should be...
Oh yeah, it's so misogynistic to believe that women are gentle, more caring souls than we are, and that the world fucks them up. It's so fucking last century to believe that. Oh, God, man, I'm such a piece of shit for believing that the world is hard and wanting to protect women from it as much as I can. I'm such a dirtbag. Go to hell, Vaush.
Kept barefoot and pregnant because the rigors of the general world are too much for their pure souls, and that women who partake in these things are tainted, and that makes them worse mothers and wives.
Well, I gotta say really quick, Vaush, there is a little bit of truth to that. Yeah, we do want a woman who's as untainted from the world as possible. You know why? Because I can speak from experience. Being in a relationship with someone who's very damaged makes the relationship very, very hard. It's okay to not want to be with a woman who's all fucked up. Men, you are not required to be a therapist, father figure, and romantic partner all in one. And, I'm speaking from experience on this because I was that guy. So listen, guys, don't do it. You have a right to look for a partner who is in good shape. You do not have to accept the quality of romantic partner that the modern left routinely pumps out. There are good women out there. Begin selecting for it, and there will be a cultural correction. Because guess what, guys? Women want to get laid too. They just want to do it with a guy who isn't a piece of shit. Unfortunately, guys who will settle for anything quickly become pieces of shit because they're unhappy. Their woman doesn't treat them good, and they get shit on by women over the course of, a few however many relationships, whether it takes a few months or a few years, guys that repeatedly get scorned by women become bitter assholes. And then there's more bitter asshole men walking around. And that's obviously not good for society. So men, stop taking just anything that will touch you. Have some respect for yourself. Demand a decent partner. And again, I was one of them. So I don't want to hear any of this attacks on me. I was also a piece of shit. I went to therapy and got better.
Yeah.
Do you think, Kate?
But also, I think who here, but I've heard that several times.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. What?
I said who specifically quoting here. The passage that he's reading.
Yeah.
About the whole being and everything. I've heard it repeated several times. I'm sure you have too.
Are you talking to your mic, Caitlin?
Yes. It's right here in front of me.
Damn it. Okay, well, keep going.
But anyway, this whole idea that somehow encouraging women, feminine, somehow killing them to be enterprising industrious, and that making them to want to be able to bear and raise is somehow a bad thing, and not empowered is very backward.
Right. Let me ask you something, folks. Let me what could be more empowering than being the sex that gets to have the strongest impact in shaping the next generation? What could be more powerful than that? You talk about there needs to be a balance of power between the sexes. Okay, guess what, women? You're never going to get it through things like there being as many women billionaires, there being as many women politicians. Those things aren't going to happen for you. You know why? Because women have characteristics that make it harder for them to achieve those things. You know, like empathy, kindness, agreeableness. Women are high in those things. Men are low in those things. It predisposes us to being predatory assholes that are good at those things. Do you really want to be like us, women?
No.
Do you really? You want to? No.
Yeah.
So women can have their institutional power by being the parent that their kids most look up to. If you are a good female model for your children, male and female, your children will look up to the ideals of being kind and merciful and caring and empathetic. Now listen, I'm not saying it's bad for a kid to look up to his father. I looked up to my father immensely. What I'm saying is, women, when you're good mothers, you have control over society.
Yeah.
And by the way, I feel compelled to remind you, part of being a good mother is making sure that your children have a father. Don't care if you don't like it. It's true. The science backs me up. The data backs me up. Basic principles of psychology back me up. And I do mean principles like it's so well established in psychology, there's absolutely no debate for it. Kids need a good dad. And as a mother, it's your responsibility to make sure they have one.
Yeah.
And fathers, the exact reverse is true. Don't think for a second you don't have equal responsibility. You are required to make sure your kids have a good mother. Kate?
Yeah. Well, and I think that's why it's so the whole whether you're religious and the idea of the providence woman. basically, she was the height of this and because go back and look at ancient idea of what a perfect was. She was highly educated. She was able to run finance, manage a house, your children, and ensure that he was psychically and physically. So, what could possibly be more empowering than that?
Is that not a common, like, this isn't just like modern misogyny. This is like old school misogyny coming from her. This gives me 50s housewife feminism energy. Yeah, you can go back and look at like house,
this guy. Okay, this is the arena. This is the arena of ideas. So forgive me for some brief ad hominem. This guy looks like a soy boy that I could hypothetically fold his laundry with him still in it.
Oh yeah.
Like, ladies and gentlemen, when you look at this guy, do you get the idea that this is a strong man? Do you get the looking at this guy? I'm being genuinely serious, because you know what? A man's appearance says a lot about him. As is true for everyone, by the way. This guy looks like he's never worked a day in his life. He looks like he has no idea how to work out or train or fight. He looks like he has had it straight from the silver spoon from the day he was born. How do I know? He's soft. I don't see a single scar. That is not a man's beard. That is the beard of someone who spends hours grooming themselves. His hair, same thing. And look, I'm not saying that if you have good skin, it makes you this kind of person, because skincare is important. But I also know that because how good his skin is maintained. In fact, either he has an excellent skincare routine, or he's wearing makeup because he wants to look that good. Manly men don't do these things. Manly men, they maintain their appearance to the point where they look respectable. And that's it. They don't try to look pretty. They don't try to make themselves as aesthetically appeasing as possible. They make themselves respectable with their grooming. That's how real men try to make their appearance look. This guy is trying to look like a pretty man by his idea of today's standards. Hey, you know that rat experiment where the guy put a bunch of rats in Rat City, and towards the end of that rat society, we started having these rats that called themselves the pretty ones, and they just spent hours every day grooming? I'm sorry, Vaush, what did you say? Am I comparing Vaush to a psychologically and emotionally damaged rat? Yes, I am.
Home shopping catalogs from the 50s where they talk about like the new woman, you know? You don't have to be a little pushover just because that's what the fella says, you know? You can be a strong woman of your own. Here, get your own dishwasher. With this dishwasher, you'll have more time to spend with the gals. Don't even care what the hubby thinks, you know? Like some shit like that, you know? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I can't ad-lib this. But it's like it's
Of course you can't ad-lib it in a compelling or funny way. You're not intelligent or talented.
It's like this very, very, very like thin appeal to progressivism and women's strength, while mostly just being about reaffirming the pre-existing gender roles. Yeah.
You can just tell when this guy is speaking that he's scrambling for how to say this in the way that's most intellectually aloof, and just the broadest general. What I'm trying to say here, folks, is that he speaks in a way where he can go back later in a more rehearsed fashion and say, oh, what I was saying was actually this.
Yes.
He deliberately keeps himself vague so that he doesn't have any hard positions on anything. so that he can wiggle out of being proven wrong.
Mhm.
That's how he's learned to speak, everyone. Because he's proven wrong so often.
Well, it's usually a lot of narcissists throw on when they're recorded.
Right. Thank you for pointing that out, Caitlin. That is a fact.
What's the verdict, guys? Does that sound like what I believe? Or is it a total warping of what I was saying from someone who, again, didn't watch it?
Oh shit, Caitlin, for a second I forgot that she was in this video.
Yeah, Mulan was too trans. Guys, she's not a feminist. She wants women to be women and men to be men. She wouldn't like Mulan because Mulan was like a defiance of traditional gender roles.
Now, this should really demonstrate to everyone how little he understands my opinions on women. We've talked about Mulan before, guys. We even had a bit of a Mulan scandal on this channel. Yeah, I've mentioned several times how I think Mulan is a wonderful example of a strong female character, how I admire her bravery and love the story, and I think she's a brilliant way to portray a female warrior. The old Mulan, not the new Mulan. She's one of my favourite Disney princesses, in fact. A fantastic example of female strength. Because I actually don't have an issue with female fighters, which again, Vaush, you would know if you watched the video. You took one look at how I was dressed and heard me say I value femininity, and then immediately assumed I was an extremely conservative right-wing type who thinks women have to be one specific way, and that one way is to only be mothers and wives. You're so far off on what you think my opinions are, it's laughable. You have actually decided that because I'm wearing a short skirt and tights, I must hold all the opinions of a Stepford wife. I hope your normal political analysis has a little bit more depth and intelligence to it than that.
It doesn't.
Because if not, that's pretty disappointing. Vaush also...
What, Kate?
No, I was saying, wait, it doesn't.
I misheard you. My bad.
Thought, because he skipped to the end without watching the video, that...
I thought you said, "Oh, wait," and then I thought you were doing that thing where you laugh and you don't talk for a minute because you're laughing.
Oh, yeah.
When I talked about femininity being able to grow and sustain life, that I was referring only to pregnancy, and took from that that's all I thought women were good for, and also that I was grooming teenage girls.
Grow and sustain life, immediately talking about biological reproduction while addressing, by her admission, teenage girls. Literal grooming, yeah.
Vaush, seriously, this is embarrassing. If you'd watched the video, you'd understand I was talking about the symbolic meaning of femininity. How I also mentioned, by the way, how...
The fact, everyone, she really is demonstrating how much of a piece of shit this guy is better than I ever could on my own. Because what she has demonstrated here is that this motherfucker is so intellectually dishonest that he pretends to be this, this culture warrior, this fucking awesome dude who fucking goes online and reviews and talks about people, and he cuts people down to size. That's the image he's built for himself. And you see what his idea of that looks like. I'm going to randomly play a few sentences, madly take them out of context, just grossly out of context.
Yeah.
And then pretend that I tore them to shreds and, oh man, I'm so cool.
What?
Look at me, I'm so smart, I can destroy anyone. Your fans are idiots, Vaush. And so are you.
Men could have those qualities too. That went right over your head, because what you took from the video was this.
She wants women to be women and men to be men.
Okay, and now we're on to The Lord of the Rings.
I think this girl might be a fake fan.
Why did you assume I hadn't read the book, Vaushi? That's very interesting. It's not because I'm female, is it? Surely such a noble defender of women like yourself would never have assumed a young woman was faking a passion for something typically seen as a male area of interest. You didn't think I was pretending to be interested in The Lord of the Rings just to get attention from men, did you? I can't help getting the feeling you wouldn't have said that about a bloke. I think, my darling, that you just committed what all the cool kids are calling a microaggression these days. Now that's very naughty.
Fought in defense of the Motherkin and Feanor, escaped the Sacagawea, host cross. Okay, this is some nerd ass shit. Okay, she fights a lot.
Okay, so yeah, now on to Galadriel. So thing is, Vaush, I actually addressed this point at the beginning of my video, which again is one of the parts you didn't watch. If you had watched the whole video, you would know I am well aware that Tolkien refers to Galadriel as athletic and strong. I love The Lord of the Rings, But I admit I'm no great expert on the greater lore. However, there is actually, from what I can see, some debate amongst hardcore fans about what Tolkien meant when he was talking about Galadriel. References to her fighting are vague, and people seem to be endlessly arguing about exactly how she fought, how much, and whether he meant physically or not, because that doesn't seem to be so clear. Everyone seems to have a different opinion and interpretation of that. Interpreting Galadriel as being a physical fighter in her youth is not necessarily a wrong interpretation, and I even stated in my video that I could be completely wrong. That Amazon might have handled Galadriel's character with care, that they might have respected Tolkien's lore and made her a believable female character who is good at fighting. Here's why I doubted this though. The fact that they've decided to give us this incarnation of Galadriel at a time and as part of a greater trend of so many female characters being masculinized is why I was suspicious. This, and also what the show's creators were saying about her, made me think it was likely we would not be seeing a rounded and believable warrior Galadriel who was still allowed to be feminine, but instead we'd be seeing just another hashtag strong female character who just likes to beat people up and is strong just because of that. It seemed to be gearing up to be a case of this Galadriel better than old Galadriel because this one has a sword, and yes, I did find that insulting. I definitely could have been clearer on that, you're right. Not that it would have mattered if I had, because you didn't watch the video anyway. But that's actually sort of beside the point. Despite the thumbnail, the main point of my video wasn't about Galadriel. I used her as a springboard to talk about the value and meaning of femininity, and why I find it insulting that people keep taking on traditionally feminine characters and lazily making them just good at fighting, as if being feminine is not strong enough on its own. But then, you don't think it is, do you?
How is her fighting in a war tearing away what makes her...
I would say though, as someone read before or extensively, Galadriel presented more as being fight more naturally. So whether or not word like she said more vague, but she was presented more as able to fight with her mind and supernatural abilities. So yeah.
Powerful. Isn't that a demonstration of what makes her powerful? She's a pick-me. No wonder she's dressed like this.
Pick me, Vaush, please. Vaush, won't you pick me? In fact, this whole video response was an attempt to get your attention, because, as we've established, I'll take any kind of attention from men. So please, Vaush, pick me.
Shut up, bitch.
Do you guys think I have a chance with him?
Stupid fucking bitch.
Pick
I think he likes
me.
me.
Existentially revolting.
So here, Vaush has done exactly what I was talking about in my last video. I must only value femininity because I'm desperate for male attention. As the feminist chicks like to say, not everything we do revolves around men. It's not all about you, Vaush. It couldn't possibly be because I value women. God, don't be so ridiculous. What could there be to value about women? There's nothing good about women, which is why we have to make them more like men. No, it must really be because I'm dying for male validation. What other reason could there possibly be for finding any value in femininity? And I'm the sexist. The lack of self-awareness is amazing. Do you guys remember when I said that the men who condescend to me the most are male feminists? Remember when I said they are the most likely...
We stand the authentic observer here at IYFA.
Yes.
Stand the fuck out of this woman. Yeah.
To treat outwardly appearing feminine women as frivolous or stupid or weak or gullible. The most likely to dismiss them. Remember that?
She's a pick-me. No wonder she's dressed like this.
I don't want to value femininity because I want to be empowered or independent. Silly bimbo like me. No, I just want to be sexually harassed.
She just wants to live in Mad Men and be sexually harassed.
And then Vaush yet again decided to parody a 1970s misogynist and say this.
Lady, if you want to have kids so bad, get fucked and pop some out.
Goodness me, he's right. Look at me thinking I could give my opinions on serious topics. No, I just need to shut my mouth and have a few kids, stick to what I'm good at.
This is such like, I wish I was a mother but aren't for some reason energy.
That's clearly all I want, and the only reason I'm even talking about femininity in the first place. My poor, neurotic and hormonal female brain is out of control, baby mad, and just needs a couple of kids to calm it down. Then maybe I'd go...
Caitlin! How does a mere mortal vessel contain that much sass? How does she do it, Caitlin? If I had as much madness as she had sass, I'd explode. Caitlin! God damn! Oh, God, it's not... Caitlin, the flamethrower isn't even aimed at me and I'm feeling hot.
Yes.
Like, I'm just like, observer, no, stop hitting me with the sledgehammer. He's already dead.
But I like that weird school sound.
Oh my god. Oh, Vaush, you had no idea what you were signing yourself up for when you step up to the plate to this woman.
Yeah.
Vaush, she is so far ahead of you intellectually, morally, ethically, personality, physical appeal, because that's the language you seem to love to speak in.
Yeah.
This person currently on screen is so much more appealing than you in every single way. And she's factually right, and you are factually a fucking idiot. Fuck you, Vaush. God. Caitlin, the sass was unreal. That shit refilled my energy bar. My personality absorbed all that fucking laser beam disintegration energy and photosynthesized a full tank of fucking energy from that one. I'm back in the game, baby. Oh.
The internet and keep my mouth shut to know my place, that sort of thing.
Maybe if she inflicts her motherhood on some actual children, she could leave the channel alone.
And poor Vaush wouldn't have to witness such an obscene feminine display. He finds it quite disgusting.
Have kids or something.
I'm only good for babies. Imagine thinking I could be taken seriously.
Okay.
He's like.
I wish my mom had been this cool. I wish my mom... yeah, dude.
Man.
Like,
She does too.
yeah. He does too.
Really.
He does too. Because, he seems so obsessed with her appearance and that she should just start making babies.
Yeah.
Vaush, you are so bad at hiding the filth beneath your face. You are a disgusting person.
When wearing a skirt.
She's wearing a fucking skirt with stockings.
You don't help yourself, Vaush. You really don't. The reason I mentioned you in my last video was as an example of a man who claims to be progressive, but who in reality is just incredibly disdainful of women, and you've proved me right at every turn. I'm actually kind of shocked by just how much you're proving it. I'd have at least thought you'd have the sense to pretend to hold back a bit if you were going to respond, but apparently you don't. Yes, Vaush, I do want to be a mother. I still want to work, but I also want to be a mother. Why are you saying that like it's an insult and makes me deserving of disdain? Why do you see that as degrading? Is it because you see something in femininity as inherently degrading? Personally, I'm of the opinion that being a mother is one of, if not the most important and brave things a human being can do, but if it makes you feel better to take your mother issues out on all women, then go for it, I guess. Also, isn't the definition of a pick-me putting down other women to raise yourself up? I'm getting pretty tired of saying this, but if you watch the video, I made it clear several times that I value all women. No matter how masculine or feminine, that I include all kinds of women in what I'm saying, and that I considered masculine women just as valid. Because they are. I think my video was incredibly supportive of women. The proof of that is the overwhelming number of comments and messages I got from women and girls, from very feminine to very masculine, teens to older women, very far left women to traditional conservative Christian women. A lot of women and girls across the board who generally seem to agree my video spoke to them, resonated with them, and put to words their experience, because there is something shared in the female experience, no matter how feminine or not a woman is. For some of them, they said it made them not feel so worthless or weak or pathetic for being feminine.
Hey, Professor Walsh. Yeah, talking to you, Matt. Here's my definition of what a woman is.
Yeah.
God. This right here, folks, is a woman.
Feminine helps them appreciate the innate value in themselves, and there were a few teenagers who had no idea that the feelings I was describing were fairly common female experiences, and it made them feel like perhaps they weren't complete aliens in their own bodies. But I'm so sorry it didn't live up to your high standards of feminism, Vaush. Sorry it didn't validate you, or speak to you, or even apparently make sense to you, because you didn't watch it. But the video wasn't for you. It was for women and girls. You know, the people feminism's supposed to be about. My points about the strength in femininity just went way over his head. Mainly because he didn't listen to any of my points, and all he seemed to take away from the video was that I wanted to go back to the 1950s, get sexually harassed, and, oh yes, how did he put it?
Get fucked and pop some out.
So yes, apparently now I'm a groomer.
The literal grooming.
Vaush says so, and I guess he would know. Telling young girls that they to be comfortable with their femininity.
What?
No. She just, yes, he would know.
What about grooming?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, again, the iron law of woke projection, folks. I can't remember who, but there's a guy over on Twitter, prominent social commentator. It's his thing that he came up with. The iron law of woke projection never fails. Never. Not once. If a fucking Democrat accuses someone of doing something, I promise you, I would literally bet my life on it that they have done that thing.
Yeah.
It never fails, folks.
And not hate themselves for it, is grooming now. Sorry guys, I don't make the rules. Vaush knows all about how it feels to be a young girl struggling with your femininity. He knows all about how those feelings can follow women into adulthood and completely screw with their identity. He knows how it feels.
I can, Observer. I 100% can tell that you are so over this conversation. And let me just say, not to sound like too much of a fucking simp here, but goddamn, did you have to kill him that dead? Like,
you have that they're not
double tap. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, in this battle of wits, it's not even fucking close. The difference between Authentic Observer and Vaush, it is the difference between a mentally retarded rat and a scholarly human. The divide is that big, folks. I'm not exaggerating.
the difference between a battle of wits and harm.
Oh, ain't that the truth? In a sane world, Caitlin, in a sane world, this video would blow up to several million views.
Yeah.
And Vaush would be exorcised from the culture.
Yeah.
The immense backlash, in a sane world, the immense backlash he would suffer for this video.
No, I mean, had this what 10 years ago? It would have been different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To be at war with your own body in that way, to feel worthless or valueless or pathetic because you're feminine. Remember guys, if there's one thing we've learned, it's that Vaush's omniscience is to be trusted. Vaush, this might be hard for you to believe, because I know you've stated several times you don't care about anyone, and from the sounds of it, I'm pretty sure you're dead inside. But it is actually possible to genuinely...
Oh my god, Caitlin!
Oh my!
I love how she just said, like, everything that I, like, always rant about for 20 minutes in, like, 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
That was amazing.
It was amazing. Look. She can punch you for a long time, or she can kill you with one. What's your preference?
It's like the verbal and the rabbit.
What was that?
The verbal and the rabbit punch.
Oh my god.
You care about other human beings. I care a lot about women and girls. Not everyone has shitty ulterior motives, Vaush. I love my little sister very much, and I also remember what it was like to be a teenager. So yes, I do care about teenage girls and their experiences, and it is a totally wholesome and genuine concern for them, but thank you for trying to make it weird, you absolute cabbage. Yes, darling, if you address teenage girls about the experience of being in a female body, it would be weird. Correct. But I'm not a slightly creepy older bloke. I know you're not breaking norms. But are we seeing why this might be different? I'm also not sure how intelligent it is to accuse someone of something that you yourself seem far more likely to be guilty of. Are you picking up on my meaning? I think even those who intensely dislike me would agree that, though I have many...
I love how I made this point. Or was it you? Yeah, you made this point, and now she's getting to it.
Yes, yes.
God damn it.
Flaws. Hard to believe, darling, but nobody's perfect. Though I have many flaws, coming across as creepy with children is not one of them. It's just not, is it? Now you, on the other hand... I don't think there's a sensitive way to say this, darling, so I'll just use my brother's words. He said you looked like a sweaty nonce, love. I obviously totally disavow. It was very rude. It was very rude of him. I'm terribly insensitive. But... well... to phrase it another way, for any parents in the audience, me or Vaush, who are you letting babysit? I know it's a tough one. If you had to choose. Take a minute to think about it. Difficult question. Who's spending the evening with your teenage daughter?
Please, right now, uncuck your dumb shit, lip-cuck fucking SJW brains and recognize this empirically correct fact that I'm about to spit. It is possible for an adult and a child to have a sexual relationship and for it to have positive outcomes on the child as well. That is possible.
Literal grooming.
Have I made my point? I think I've made...
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Talk about holding yourself on your heart.
What did I say, folks? What did I say?
Yeah.
What did I say? The iron law of woke projection never fails, folks. Caitlin, he did that shit in real time, and it's a video.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
It's a video. It's on the internet.
This is
Go and watch.
Caitlin. During this live stream, I claimed that the woke law of iron projection never misses, and in this video, I am proven right.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And with literally the worst thing to be. Oh my god. Yeah, Vaush, I stand by every single thing I said about you 110%. Hypothetically, you deserve to be beat within an inch of your life. And then a swift breeze just rolls by and takes the inch. Hypothetically.
Yes.
Made my point. Don't accuse people of grooming when they seem far less like a groomer than you and have also never said creepy things about kids. Good rule of thumb, words to live by. Have that free advice, love.
I'm so tired of the Professor Flowers bullshit, but I especially fucking hate it when it comes from women, especially white upper middle class women. Because you know for a goddamn fact that this bitch has it better than like 99.9999.
Is that dirty talk from you, Vaush?
You mean like you? Iron law of woke projection, it never fails.
Right.
I think it might be. Go on, call me a filthy capitalist again, baby. Okay, so I think I about this because he made such a massive song and dance about it.
Oh my god.
And so did his followers.
That turned me on. God damn.
I think there were several variations of Posh Tough Bitch from them, which vary.
So we're clear. The part that turned me on was her decapitating him with words in a sexy voice.
Yes, yes.
Very progressive of you boys, thank you. I never even mentioned trans people in that video for a start, only making me agree more with the argument that TERF is now just a misogynistic insult extreme left-wingers have taken to throwing at women they disagree with to get them to shut up. Call me a TERF then if you want. I don't care. None of the words you use mean anything anymore anyway. Call me a Nazi for good measure, because why the fuck not? You have made everything meaningless and nothing matters. Go wild. So, due to Vaush's little rant about my incredibly privileged upper-middle-class life, a few of his followers also thought they would let me know that, as an upper-middle-class girl who could not conceive of the struggles of ordinary women, apparently, what right did I have to speak about femininity and feminism? I don't know why you guys think by that logic that Vaush has more of a right to speak on it than me, but okay. What do I know about the struggles of ordinary people, you ask? Does growing up not knowing if you could afford enough food for the week count? I grew up with no kind of security. My parents regularly couldn't afford to buy food. One of my greatest fears as a kid was being separated from my younger siblings if we ended up without a roof over our heads, and for a while we were on government benefits. You know, like most upper middle class people. I know I don't give off that kind of vibe. I was blessed with a fantastic education, but maybe you guys shouldn't make assumptions about the entire life story.
She was blessed with a fantastic education, and gee, I wonder why. She probably got academic scholarships. If I had to guess, look at her, she's fucking brilliant.
Of someone you don't know, because the fact is, you don't know. I don't even disagree with him. Like, I do consider myself incredibly lucky and privileged. I'm not denying that. I feel very blessed. But what I'm not going to do is let Vaush, with his cushy YouTube gig and immense success, sit there smug as you like and have the absolute gall to lecture me.
That he was born into, by the way. He didn't earn this. Like I said, his uncle is Cenk Uygur, the guy from Young Turks. This is what Vaush's family does, folks.
About privilege and the struggles of ordinary.
Huh?
I said he grew up with in his asshole.
A silver spoon in his asshole?
Yes, yes.
So you're saying his parents were abusing him? Yeah, I'd believe
it. Like, I'm the one who's out of touch.
I think back to 2021, okay? A time period during which my channel made entirely too much money. And I don't remember a single AdSense.
Come on, man. This wasn't entirely too much.
Entirely too much.
No. Doing all right for YouTube, are we, Vaush? How much you making? A lot more than me, I bet. Are you rich, Vaush? Nice. What's that like? How much? Right? How much money? How much money do you have right now in your wallet? Is it enough to buy a pony? Can you buy a pony, Vaush? Could you buy a snazzy car with the money in your bank account? I could tell you how much money is in my bank account, but the answer would only make me depressed. It's much more fun to talk about how much money you have.
Oh my god. Kate, hang on. I have to I'm screenshotting this and doing the tweet thing to her.
Oh my god. Tweet.
Oh, wait, I gotta get a cursor out of her face. Damn it, Zach. Are you saying that I should do it right now?
Why not?
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah. We don't.
I need to crop this again. Hang on, guys. I gotta crop it again. There we go. If we're gonna make memes, we're gonna do it right. This is an art form, people. This is an art.
Impossible.
Prime Rib 94, Prime Rib _94 over on Twitch. He is a hilarious content creator. I got that bit from him. Please go give him a follow. It would mean a lot to me if you supported my I consider him a friend.
Yeah. I've officially stolen the voice, and in order for him to get it, you have to be able to do that.
Dude, we'll have a Prime Rib beatbox battle. Prime, do it with me, bro. It'll be lit, son.
That'll be great. How do you even his last name? I didn't understand.
Oh, man.
It's how did I don't.
It's beautiful, Caitlin.
It's gold.
It's beautiful. What?
That's what I can always think.
Hang on, damn it. The Authentic Observer Twitter.
Yep. It's like, does she have
I'm almost positive she does. Hang on.
have a tweet?
I'm almost positive she does.
It's like
Yes, Twitter. Yep. Yes, Twitter right here.
Okay.
Ah, fuck. She deleted it. God damn it.
Aww.
Fuck my life. All right. Here's what we can't add her. So here's what we gotta do. We're gonna hashtag it, the Authentic Observer. Hashtag the Authentic Observer. So there, if she sees this video, she can go and check out the tweet.
Yeah. Right there.
Babes. Hashtag Vaush.
Yeah.
Hashtag red pill. Hashtag blue pill.
Oh my god.
Listen, I'm a juvenile delinquent.
It's okay.
My madness knows no bounds.
It's okay.
I am the warrior poet, the dark and light jester.
Hey, man.
Old man?
Yeah,
Is that old man? Oh, that's crazy.
What's hashtag good. We are.
This one's old man. This one's for you. Hashtag old man reacts.
We are doing. What is his literally do with the face and we screenshot it, turn them into a meme. Yes. So beware. Oh, next time, make video face showing. If you make we pause on and takes liking to it. You may
Go make sure this posted to my Tweedle.
So you have a Tweedle.
It did. Okay, everyone. You can go to my Tweedles.
Oh, I
and share this meme. I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, you can. Or you use the method of taking screenshots of his faces, tweeting it out. Because that's the case. Awesome. He's the only person to do that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the video.
How that privilege feels. It looks like it's fun. I bet it's fun. Is it fun? I'm
It's
glad
fun.
you're having fun, Vaush. If you're happy, I'm happy.
J.K. Rowling's in the same position. She lives in a fucking castle.
You think I'm in the same position as J.K. Rowling? I fucking wish. You are ridiculous, mate. Oh, I wouldn't be on YouTube if I was. I'd have fucked off to some private island somewhere. Is that
Wow.
She said, "You think I do this for fun? What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Right.
Oh god.
God. Be like, dude, I would be in the position where I could make mistakes of $6 million.
Right. Oh my god.
have similar English accents? Okay. I don't even live in a building at the moment, but please tell me more about my castle. It sounds bloody marvellous. Does it have a moat? I would like a moat. At least give me a moat.
So after I filmed this video, I discovered that apparently Vaush is a Beverly Hills rich kid. Well, Vaushi, now isn't this an interesting turn of events? You grew up rich, and I grew up on government benefits.
This posh bullshit is insufferable.
Oh, you brave little soldier. What a hero fighting the good fight. Tell me again how contemptibly upper middle class I am.
This upper middle class, like, British affect right here, this thing that she's doing, everything about it exudes arrogance and condescension.
I stand by literally everything I said about you, Vaush. I've said it all already. I stand by it.
And classist elitism.
Go on, mate. Have another go about my accent.
Herself.
Iron law of woke projection never fails.
You must have some more things to say. I'd love to hear them. Tell me how condescending and classist I sound. You might have to shout loudly though, love, so I can hear you from all the way up there on the Hollywood Hills.
Do you know for a goddamn fact that this bitch has it better than like 99 point...
God, I actually can't believe this after your little tantrum about how elitist I was. You'd think you'd raised yourself alone on the streets living on bin juice the way you carried on, wailing like a Dickensian orphan with that little faux outrage dramatic performance. But it turns out your upbringing was less Oliver Twist and more Gossip Girl. I don't know how you have the nerve to be disgusted at anyone for being obnoxiously upper middle class. Don't take out your weird self-hating socialist rich kid guilt on me, though I do have a suggestion for how you can deal with it, darling, and I really think this might solve your problems, but you'll have to follow my instructions exactly.
I'm going to slow this down so I can hear this in all its actual, perfectly as she wanted it glory, because I know it's going to be brilliant.
Yeah.
Tell you what I want you to do, Vaushy boy, and listen really carefully. I want you to take all your moral superiority, all your talk about privilege, all your posturing and your posing, all your faux concern, all your sneering and your god complex about being the saviour of the common man. I want you to take all of that, Vaushy. Yeah, you're with me so far. I want you to take all of that, and I want you to shove it right up your arse, you whiny little rich boy. How dare you?
She said, I want you to take all that, and I want you to shove it up your little whiny ass. We're listening to that fucking glorious murder again.
Faux concern, oh boy, and listen really carefully. I want you to take all your moral superiority, all your talk about privilege, all your posturing and your posing, all your faux concern, all your sneering and your god complex about being the saviour of the common man. I want you to take all of that, Vaushy.
Every drop.
Are you with me so far?
Every little bit.
I want you to take all of that and I want you
ounce.
to shove it right up your arse, you
right up there, Vaush.
How dare
right
you?
Up there. All the way, Vaush, to the hilt, baby. To the motherfucking hilt, Vaush! I want you to do yourself like that horse did that guy in Washington.
Old man says, sniffs. I think I like this person.
Old man, Authentic Observer. This is her channel that we're watching right now.
Yeah.
This is the Authentic Observer. She is one of the fiercest and sassiest women I have ever seen. She's remarkably intelligent and articulate and eloquent, and it is just a delight to hear her rip this asshole apart. Like, oh god, it's like Observer, he's already a pile of ash. Stop hitting him.
Like I said, I like the boom sound. Hit them.
I like the sound of the boom when the grenade hits.
I made salad.
Listen, I need you to toss me an M67 boom pineapple right now. I'm gonna chuck it at the bad guys. All right. Yeah, all right.
Oh my god.
Semper Fidelis, motherfuckers.
Oh my god. Oh man.
For context. Go ahead.
He says, I send her kindred in her lunch horrible
Listen. I see where you're coming from, but every now and then I just want to watch a fencer rip someone apart.
Yes.
And I just want to say really quick, I have to credit him, my boy Prime Rib 94 over on Twitch. He's a veteran, a dad, and a fucking chill dude. I'm stealing his voice. Go check him out on Twitch.
Yes.
Well, I just had to use his voice because we were talking about frag grenades, and he's a fucking Marine.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, dude.
Yep. Can't mention him without. Can't mention the pineapple.
But what'd you say? What did you say? Old man said, Kate.
He said, yeah. I'm mood kindred in her. I prefer herbal exterminals. It's the best.
Yeah.
Also, why is it difficult to imagine why all women, even well-off women, yes, even J.K. Rowling, would care about women's issues and femininity? A very dear friend of mine is from a very wealthy family, and it still didn't protect her from getting sick.
Thanks for the follow, old man.
Yeah.
Actually assaulted. Does she not have a leg to stand on then when it comes to feminism and talking about women's issues? Because she's an upper-class white girl? Does she have to keep her mouth shut about issues that affect women because, a certain income bracket makes you not a woman anymore and therefore immune to the negatives of the female experience? And of course, some women still have it harder than others. Of course that's true. But women's issues still affect all women. And how about me? Why am I so concerned with talking about the value of femininity? Why would I want women to feel that they had their own innate strengths? What reason could I have for saying embracing their femininity didn't make them weak, that being feminine did not make them worthless or pathetic? I don't know, could it be because there's a lot of women and girls I admire and love who felt devalued, powerless, abused, targeted, exploited, humiliated, silenced, or made to feel worthless because of their femininity? And I'm of the opinion that they actually shouldn't feel that way. Just one example, picking at random. Let's take my aunt as a case study, almost beaten to death several times by her first husband, culminating in him trying to shoot her and my then 2-year-old severely autistic cousin before doing everyone a favour and putting a bullet in his own brain. But goodness me, why would I be concerned with women's issues and defending women and wanting women to know their value? Golly gosh, maybe it's because I'm just a lazy entitled brat who wants to wear pretty dresses and just be taken care of, because after all, what does a silly, naive, spoiled girl like me know of the big bad world safe up here in my ivory tower? There's this really disgusting attitude of the
Hey Vaush, go fuck yourself. With a razor blade. Like repeatedly though. Like don't stop.
Oh man. He says she's not passive at all. And I don't know what that's about. But turn this guy's back. Now to nuke again. Shockwave. Red the ashes. There. He says flapper face.
Hang on. I have to see what he's saying. She's passive and metal. I don't know.
We're not.
She's turned this guy to ash so far. Now I'm just nuking again so the shockwave can spread the ashes and fertilize the earth. Flowers are nice. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh, old man, you should come and to the watch party streams sometime, man. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh god. Alrighty, man. You have a good one, bro. Thanks for stopping by. We sincerely appreciate you.
Exactly.
Yes, dude.
Why
Yes.
not? Yeah. We're always in Discord. So
Yep, we are always in Discord. So just hit us up.
Yeah.
All right.
Watch party. Yes.
Yep. All right.
That Vaush and many of his followers seem to have, which I've recently been on the receiving end of, that women they perceive to be of a certain social class or above a certain income bracket don't deserve any of the benefits of feminism. Like him saying he doesn't care about J.K. Rowling's abuse because she's a billionaire. Well-off women still get assaulted, they're still women, like my friend I mentioned. The weird attitude that these women don't really know what it's like to be women, so shut the fuck up like the privileged, snooty bitches they are, is actually a really creepy attitude. It's got the same energy to it as those really aggressive blokes who think women deserve to be knocked down a peg or two. Those guys who kind of want to see women degraded, who think maybe they should be roughed up a bit. Excuse you, gentlemen. Feminism is supposed to be for all women, regardless of class, race, age, or appearance. You don't get to corner off a section of women it's okay to take your anger out on because you think they've had it too easy and you resent them for it. Right. If that's what you're doing, you're not a feminist. You're just channeling your hatred of women in a specific direction so you can pretend to yourselves you're still good people while also having an outlet for all your vile, weird, misogynistic feelings. No. Pick one. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Most of Vaush's followers that decided to drop me a nice little message mentioned my accent, and also the fact that I should be quiet because I clearly had never experienced any of the everyday bad things most women go through. Firstly, as we've established, yes, I do know what it's like to not be able to afford food and worry I won't have a roof over my head. The confidence of your assumptions is remarkable. And secondly, why do you think it's reasonable to do that? Why would a wealthy woman not have as much right to talk about her experiences or opinions on femininity as anyone else? You don't get to strip them of their womanhood. You don't get to tell them how they should feel about their experiences. You don't get to tell them to shut up about what it means to be female. You don't get to do that. You don't get to take that from them. You don't get to try and remove the essence of what they are. Not to any woman, of any background. Okay? If she's a woman, she's a woman, and she can speak about what that's like, about what her understanding of femininity is. You're also kind of proving my point in how femininity is seen as weak and frivolous. In me making the argument that I think femininity is valuable, you all seem to see it as me saying women should float around in pretty dresses all day doing what we're told, and that the only reason I must be saying that is because life's been too easy for me. You utter misogynists. You think that's what femininity is? I don't think that's what femininity is. One of the most feminine people I knew was my grandmother. She was born into absolute, and I mean absolute poverty, grew up in an abusive home and clawed her way out of it. Her life was fucking hard, and she was as tough as nails, a will of absolute iron, also the kindest woman in the world, and she didn't need to beat people up in order to be strong or valuable, which really was what most of my argument boiled down to. There was nothing weak about her. And what's not going to happen is you lot equating femininity with weakness, or sneering at feminine women as being pathetic, or telling women the only way they can be strong is to be more like men. Yeah, we're not doing that, and I think most women aren't on board with that, no matter how loudly you activists screech that they are. The disdain towards femininity from you lot was obvious. There was some very telling comment about how I think women shouldn't get their dainty little hands dirty with fighting. I never said that. If women want to fight...
You know what, Authentic Observer? I got bad news for you. You're not a feminist by today's standards.
No.
And I understand why you call yourself a feminist. You're trying to take the term back. But listen, Authentic Observer, you align so much more closely with tradwife conservative culture and values and, you know, just you being right.
Yeah.
You're not a feminist. You're a social conservative. That's what you are.
And I think the thing about them to show the idea of a woman has to be like a man or empowered or whatever, kind of a backdoor way of still inserting like trans ideology.
You broke up for half of that, Caitlin.
Well, I was saying that. Okay. Let me see if I can. Okay. I was saying that the idea that a woman has to be in a way like first here, like Powell, whatever is backdoor inserting all of the terminology. People okay with it.
Right, because they destroyed the conceptions of what a woman is.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Man, that's a perfect tie-in to what we were talking about the other day. On what was it? The can't remember that, but that came up in another stream or a reaction, another stream or another reaction. Did it?
Well, we were talking about maybe strong character.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we were discussing, what a woman is.
Mm-hmm,
because right, I remember now. Thank you.
They can fight, and as I've stated, I don't have a problem with female action heroes. My argument is that, in general, women are not as good at fighting as men. Really not a very controversial statement. Open your eyes and look at the world. And using that as the main metric of strength on which to judge someone is inherently misogynistic and ignores and devalues the strengths of most everyday women. My argument is that turning every female character into a badass fighter chick, because apparently that's the only way to be strong, is an insult towards most women. And that's not to say that the women who do fight don't have value, because of course they do. Never said they don't. The fact you use that wording, don't get your dainty little hands dirty, yeah, kind of sounds like you're pretty disdainful of women who aren't like that, of more feminine women. Because it sounds to me like you hold masculinity in far higher regard. Thank you for demonstrating that.
Also, I want to add that it also adds another whole new, even creepier dimension to his bizarre thing he's got with well-off women. The fact that he's from that kind of background, it just makes it very strange.
I'm so tired of the Professor Flowers bullshit, but I especially fucking hate it when it comes from women, especially white upper middle class women. While she, like, eats roast pheasant off the back of, like, a slave that she bought and will be sacrificing later that evening. You know, okay, J.K. Rowling. And this upper middle class, like, British affect right here, this thing that she's doing.
So it's okay for it's okay for Vaush to be really successful and have loads of money, but he seems to have a problem with women who are in that position too. It's very strange. Mate, I'll be honest, I think your issues with women are really bloody deep-seated. I don't know what the hell's going on with you, but seriously, sort it out. It's bloody weird.
Anyway, that's everything. Thank you, Vaush, for proving correct everything I said about you. I couldn't have done it better myself if I'd sat down and planned out an example of the type of male feminist that I was talking about. So bless you for that. Thank you for demonstrating that male feminists resent femininity and want to stamp it out wherever they find it. Thank you for demonstrating your complete disdain for it and disgust for it. There have always been men like this, only now they get to claim the label of feminist. Now they get to be applauded for it, just as long as they're doing it, the women deemed heretics. At least the bloody witchfinders had the decency not to claim they were doing it all in the name of women's rights. I'm sorry, but you can't convince me that if Vaush was born a few centuries earlier, that's not exactly the type of guy he would be. That's all I see when I look at him. Different labels, same men.
She's wearing a fucking skirt with stockings. She just wants to live in Mad Men and be sexually harassed.
Well, she was a whore anyway.
Like, you know, like just the short skirt plus like the stockings and the so on.
Cloud the mind with unholy thoughts.
She's a pick-me. No wonder she's dressed like this.
You really kind of have to think about what a whore is.
Shut up, bitch.
I see you, Vaushi. I see your weakness and your cowardice and your anger towards women and your hatred of women. I think most people see it. And it's not pretty. Vaush be quieter and start apologising challenge. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Stay snazzy and look after yourselves. Yes, Vaush, even you.
Yep.
And now, I'm going to DM a link to this video that we're recording right now. I'm gonna DM her this link.
Oh, that.
We're gonna do it right now.
Oh my. Right.
Right this very second.
Yeah. It's like, how do you do that? Read about.
Oh, I wasn't following. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Here we go. Yep. Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go. The seed has been thrown.
There you go.
Now we shall see if it finds fertile soil.
No. Like, here you go. Yes.
So, yeah, everyone. I think that we've laid out a pretty ironclad case here.
Oh, Vaush. Stay snazzy and look after yourselves.
Right.
Yes, Vaush.
Right.
Even you.
Pretty ironclad case for why Vaush is a huge piece of shit. Yeah, I stand by everything I said. Because I'm right.
Yes.
And Vaush and everyone in his audience is a misogynist, an egomaniac, and a neckbeard. This has been Team Adventurous. Welcome to the adventure. Authentic Observer, call me. Peace out, everyone.